boys and girls, humans, football fans everywhere. It's another edition live with the Highbury squad. It's been a few days since we've spoken to you, our Highbury Squad Nation. Thanks so much for joining us again this evening. It is the full squad with you. No guests tonight. There's too much to talk about. And I feel there's going to be a couple of soapbox moments. Princess Guna, welcome to the show. Amanda, hello.
Yeah, hello. Welcome to the show, Sophie. Welcome to the show, Kevin. It's just all of us together tonight, isn't it?
Super Kev.
No guest.
Welcome.
How are you, ladies? Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. Get our teeth stuck into this.
Stuck in. But we do need to thank DJ Tony, don't we?
That was amazing.
I've not laughed so much in forever.
Have you seen it, Super Kev? Have you seen the splice that DJ Tony did?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was good.
Very good.
I actually look cool. For a 51-year-old.
Is that why we're talking about this now? Because
it's
the moment to appreciate your coolness.
No, but it's not for you to say you look cool.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I look cool.
I look for other people to say you look cool.
Oh, no one else is going to say it.
No, you're going to see on the comments, other people are going to say you look cool. But it's not for you to say it.
Right.
You'll see.
What? Let's get some important information out first this evening. What are your talking tees tonight? What are you both wearing? Let's see. Let's have them.
Oh, I'll go first. Love yourself.
She does a little bit, eh, Casey? She does a little.
I do.
Just a touch. But that's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Just a touch. Just a touch of love. A little bit.
All right. We've seen enough of that. All right. That's fantastic. Spreading the love this evening during the international break, everybody. Super Kev, what does I can see from here, but it's got a little bit of Brixton on there, eh?
Brixton streetwear, baby. You know, that's from the manor. From the manor. No problem.
I'm going to be able to do it one day.
I don't have a talking tee.
But you're not cool enough to do it yet, PG.
I know. I'm so.
You got to build your cred. You got to build your cred.
Bring my street cred. I'll bring my street cred.
Anyway, no one cares about my little badge from Paso Robles, which is lovely wine country here in California. Right.
Oh.
Any hoot. Welcome to the shoe, everybody. Thanks for joining us, as we said. There's a lot to talk about today. We're going to try and keep it to a nice 59 minutes and 59 seconds. But it depends how things go here.
Sophie.
Yes.
Come on. You're in LA and your team won in LA. Let's get that out the way now.
Okay, so it's kind of amazing how this year's capping off. The LA Lakers won the NBA championship. They've been stuck in this bubble. It's incredible what these players have been through, to be quite honest with you. It feels like they've been in Orlando for 2 years, Super Kev.
95 days, isn't it? Or something like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it just felt like the writing was on the wall with Kobe passing away earlier this year and then coming full circle and LeBron winning another championship with another team and Anthony Davis, who is such an unsung hero. So, yes, a championship has come to Los Angeles. Hopefully. Well, and also, do you know Stan Kroenke's team, the Colorado Rapids, though, they've got COVID going through their team. They had to postpone their game against the LA Galaxy. They've had to postpone their schedule. So Stan Kroenke's soccer team here, as they call them, not having a good time right now. His football team, the LA Rams, are playing in their new spaceship. But anyway, enough of that. Let's talk about this story that's not breaking today, but everyone's up in arms about. It's a very polarizing subject matter, and that's Project Big Picture, you guys. You guys are there. Obviously, it's being reported here through ESPN FC and other outlets, of course. KC, did you want to start? Did you want me to read a little about what it is, just real quick, so our listeners can follow?
Because I've got my own thoughts about it anyway.
Okay, so here's pretty much, and I'll put my phone in front of me here, so just ignore me looking down. But this is pretty much what the crux of it is. What changes are proposed in Project Big Picture? One of the most eye-catching, and this is from goal.com, by the way, our friends over at goal.com. One of the most eye-catching proposals of Project Big Picture would see the Premier League reduced to 18 teams. Only 2 teams would be automatically relegated to the Championship each season, replaced with the top 2 from the second tier. The team which finishes third from bottom would go into a playoff with the teams finishing 3rd, 4th, and 5th in the Championship. I'm not adverse to that. But anyway, the Community Shield would be scrapped, and reports vary as to whether or not the Carabao Cup would also be scrapped entirely or revamped to only include clubs not participating in European competition. To wrap it up, the Premier League season would start later in August, more time for friendlies. Loan rules will be overhauled, allowing clubs to send 15 players out on loan to other English sides with a maximum of 4 per club. 6% of the Premier League's gross revenues would go towards paying for stadium improvements across the top 4 leagues, and away tickets would be capped at £20. That's pretty much it. The EFL, the head of the EFL is for it, Casey. They also have to get the votes of the EFL, but this has been ongoing, and this has started not only just here with Liverpool and Manchester United kind of being at the forefront of this. This is something that the Juventus owner has been pushing for on a European scale. And a few years back, Charlie Stilitano, who's the head of the International Champions Cup here, that's become a beast in of its own, wanted the same teams playing in the Champions League every single year. Right. It's a mouthful, but I hope our listeners who are watching now and on replay kind of get it. This is a mad, massive moment in football, Super Kev.
It's going to happen whether people like it or not. We've seen it with don't forget, when it was the Football League and the guys from Sky changed it to the Premier League, people were up in arms against it. And look what it produced. It's going to happen, whether people like it or not. The big boys can control. They're too powerful to go against them. It will happen. In whatever way, shape, or form, it is going to happen. And, 2 going down and then the 3rd one playing off ain't necessarily a bad thing. The 2 coming up and then the other 3 playing off with the one from the Premier League ain't necessarily a bad thing. But look, reduction from 20 to 18, that was always going to happen at some stage. And these rules and regulations, etc., for money to filter down to certain clubs as well, is the sweetener in the pie. Let's put it that way. It's
the 250 million, right? Which is what they're desperate for the money. Then you're talking about the percentage of the TV deal, which is huge for these clubs. But what it does, Amanda, is it gives control to 10 teams in the Premier League. And those teams are Manchester United, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, Manchester City, Tottenham, Everton, Southampton, and West Ham. Divides the league. It gives them the power of veto on any new ownership coming in. Now, I'm not adverse to there being some type of independent committee when it comes to ownership in the Premier League, because I think we've seen from some sales and non-sales how this has gone and this is going. Amanda, what's your take on this? Kevin brought up Sky, which is true. In 92, I think we all felt the sky was falling. But look what happened to the game. But some of it may be for the better and worse.
The only good thing that I can see is the £20 cap tickets for away fans. And that's the end of it. The rest of it, it's all just about the clubs having power. And being able to control the rest of the league is disgraceful. I don't mind the 3rd from team bottom of the league playing the 3rd, 4th and 5th in the 2nd. As a fan, it makes it, they are the best playoffs to watch. The most nervous for the, I still call it Division 1, whatever you call it, but it's still Division 2 or whatever.
The Championship.
The Championship. I'm so old, and But for the Championship fans, it's the most lucrative game ever to be able to get up on that 3rd place. But for a neutral fan, I love watching those matches. How do I feel? I feel it's just, there is so many people saying the same thing, that football without fans is nothing. And this is another way it's going to push it away. And let's not even start on the pay-per-view, because we haven't got there yet.
Well, we'll get to that.
I know we will. But it's all about power. It's all about being able to control the TV rights, where the money goes. The fact that they can get rid of the Charity Shield and the Carabao Cup is disgraceful. We just do not fix something that's not broken, okay? We're okay. We're all okay. We just want to support our clubs and go to football. And
this has escalated because of COVID. So
of course it has. And I know that there's a Division 2, 3, 4, the clubs are struggling. Yeah, and the Premiership clubs should be helping. The FA, the Premier League, everyone should be helping. There's enough money there, for God's sake. I'm not surprised.
Let me read this to you. Let me read this to you as a fan.
Can I just say that I'm quite surprised that Kev said it's going to go ahead. I actually thought
it's escalated too far for it not to.
Well, didn't they try and do this a few years ago and have a European league and nothing came of it? I was hoping it was going to be a bit more like that.
Yeah, but PG, it's nothing's set in stone yet. Let me tell you. But power, the powerful teams are going to stay powerful, whether we like it or not.
The UK government is against the proposal. And let me give you this so you guys can carry on. A number of fan groups, the Arsenal Supporters
I was going to say that.
Chelsea Supporters Trust, Spirit of Shankly, Manchester City Supporters Club, United Supporters Trust, and Tottenham Hotspur Supporters Trust have all co-signed an open letter stating their opposition to this entire thing. How much power are the fans going to have here, though? Money talks and protesting.
Bullshit roads marathons.
Yes.
And it's all about the bottom line. Listen, in life, everything is about power and money and who wants to be in control of what. And the fact that so decisions can be made on 9 clubs in the whole league. I'm sorry, if I was a Newcastle fan or any other fan and I see Newcastle as a big club, right? Not to be vetoed by Arsenal and United and Liverpool. No.
Here's the other thing too. KC, are you surprised that Greg Clark is all for this?
No.
It behooves him, the interest he's looking out for, because as we're seeing, it doesn't seem like fans are going to be able to go back, and we'll intertwine all of this into the pay-per-view discussion because questions are coming in thick and fast, and also fans going back into stadiums. And then looking out for this. Is this really, in essence, the bailout sweetener? You guys have asked us for help. This has been on the table. We've been wanting to do this, and it's been ongoing since 2017. It leads to what Juventus have been trying to do with the European Super League. Mm-hmm. Does everyone win here, except maybe once again they're going to ask more of the fans? Talk me through that a little bit, Casey.
Well, look, the bottom. We've got to look at bottom lines now. The football in the UK, especially down in the lower leagues, there's not going to be any lower leagues if this pandemic lockdown and no fans going to the games keeps on going. Asking the Premier League, who has no jurisdiction to help anybody because they are their own self-sustaining entity. It's the FA and the EFL. They're their own. They stick together, and the Premier League are up there on their own. Let's get that totally clear. Now, the league, the Championship, etc., are holding their hands out, hoping for a bailout. This is the perfect way. Never let a good crisis go to waste. So what they've done, they've packaged this up. This is how we can help you, but it serves the purpose at the top, doesn't it? Yeah. That's the bottom line. And whether we like it or not, who always suffers in the end? It's the fan. The fan always suffers. But unfortunately, and this is the truth, unfortunately, Whether we like it or not, it's all about TV rights globally.
Yes, I was just about
Globally.
to say that. It's all about the TV rights and how they're going to sell them abroad, and it's all going to come down to this. Well, with the top 6 or the 9 clubs, and they'll decide everything. Where the TV, it's all about money. And I'm
And power.
sorry, what the only thing that is good, as I said, is the £20 away
and
ticket.
power. It's about
Of course
money
it's
and power.
about power.
So
They want to be in control of their own way of what they
The
want.
one thing I don't agree with is they can veto somebody else going into one of the other clubs.
Yeah.
Because Newcastle, for instance, had a really, really good ownership group coming in from Saudi with vast amounts of money that would dwarf anybody else. And funny enough, they were blocked.
Mhm.
Why?
Really?
Yeah, they were blocked. Well, they couldn't take over Newcastle, could they?
Oh, I didn't
The
think they were that
Saudis.
serious.
Yeah,
Okay.
now we got blocked.
Okay, I wanna go to this comment because it has come up and El Batch has brought it up. So it's the elephant in the room, and that is talking about the American owners, Liverpool and Manchester United, of course, with American ownership. Arsenal with American ownership. I believe Crystal Palace has some American ownership. There are other clubs but Crystal Palace aren't part of that group, of course. In the US. Sports owners have a lot of power. They actually meet and they're able to influence the game in so many different ways. Basically, the NFL commissioner, works for the owners, doesn't he, Casey? And there's a lot of this that makes some European fans, you guys, feel like some of this is moving more towards an American sports standardization, from operations to how businesses are run, etc. What are your thoughts on this? Juventus are not owned by Americans, but they want the same thing. I just don't think it's fair to tarnish the brush with a culture of ownership versus others when there's plenty of others in the mix here. Agree or disagree?
Princess, do you want to go?
Oh, sorry. I was just thinking about the fact that through the 80s football, and then, Abramovich walks in and just changes everything. It's just changed the landscape, then Sky Premier League, and now we're up to this. When I used to go to football late 70s and the 80s and everything, it was just football. It was my club. It was just simple. Nothing's simple anymore. I know obviously it's not their fault we're not allowed in the grounds, and they do want us back. Every ground does, financially as well. But I just feel like, is this going to be the end of football? I think that's the question we need to ask, because is anyone going to be...
Let's talk about this, Amanda.
People are falling out of love with football. I mean, it's different now because we're all desperate because COVID and everything, but it was starting to go. I mean, anyway, go on. Sorry.
No, okay. Ranting. So here's the scoop.
Hold on.
There are countries in Europe.
Can I answer that question, please?
Yeah.
Sophie.
Is football dead? Is that one?
No.
Will it be dead?
No. What you asked before.
Oh, okay. Yeah, please do. I thought.
Yeah, no, because I'll let Princess go first. Look, the bottom line of everything is this: the ownership, the football that we know, was always going this way. Unfortunately, and fortunately for some, it was always going this way. We changed the Division 1 to the Premier League. As soon as you do that and you let it go, it was always going to go this way. And it's to our detriment that it happens this way, right? We know it's about power. We understand all that.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, these clubs at the top want one thing and one thing only: to control their destiny and make as much money as they can. It's that simple. And they will. It will happen that way. So you can argue, oh, this is this, and that is that. It doesn't matter what any fan thinks. The fan groups could oppose it. If they support the club, they will keep supporting the club. Because it doesn't really matter.
there's so much, when it comes to moments like this, and we've seen it before, whether it's a recession or a pandemic, big corporations, and football clubs are big corporations, they utilize that as a tool. They're preaching about how certain people are handling this whole debacle and this mess, but they're also utilizing it as a tool to get what they want. And like you said earlier, there's nothing like a crisis for people to benefit from. Now, when we look at Europe, there were 22,000 people, I think, at the Borussia Dortmund game before the international break. We've seen Germany integrate fans. We've seen other places from around the world integrate fans. Last night, and as much as I respect Arsene Wenger, his new book came out. Interesting timing as well, but had an event at the Palladium. People are sitting next to each other like sardines. And at what point, that I have read a lot that there's a conspiracy theory because of the fact that the politicians came out and attacked the footballers and the government is just trying to teach football a lesson. I mean, I don't know if I would go that far at all, because the value to our communities is so great, but the communities are going to die. And even big clubs and what that brings to home games and home attendances and the profits and stuff like that. So if they can do it in other countries, why can't they do it in England? Why?
I have no idea that you can go on a tube train and sit next to someone, hundreds of people in a carriage going in tunnels, yet in an open air, massive stadium, you cannot socially distance. It's absolute bollocks. And I'll tell you something, right? The longer this goes on, well, the longer they keep us out of the grounds, it's not good for our health, for a start. It's part of our lives. Do you know, I tweeted...
It's not just about that. Compare the two. The Palladium is packed.
But I just told you, in tube trains, in restaurants, you can go. We're at the moment in London, where Kev is, the tiers have changed, like what lockdowns are. It's all just whatever. I can still go to a restaurant and be closer to people than I can in a football stadium. Yet in a football stadium, thousands and thousands and thousands of seats. They can easily let 30,000 fans in to Arsenal. Why not?
It's planned.
It's just, I don't understand why it's being held back, because it would.
What do you mean by when you say planned, Kevin?
It's listen, this is why the confusion is there. You see it can happen in Germany. Mm-hmm. You see at the Palladium, people could sit side by side. And that's indoor. That's indoor. The tube system in London, people can sit beside each other. But in a stadium, you can't get people in the stadium. Socially distanced. It makes no sense. So there's only one there's only one answer to the question. It's planned. It is planned.
For what reason? Planned for what?
Well, look, there's a bigger picture in all of this, right? There's a bigger picture in all of this, because this isn't just about football. This is about everything, because the economy is being killed.
Okay, so let me ask you guys this. Okay, it's not, the fans are to a point now where I think you'll see certain groups taking action, and people have been saying for months now, protests change things. Well, football fans are really losing their patience. Now, you guys were asked to renew your season ticket, were you not, Amanda?
No, yes, not renew it. No, to go in a ballot. Okay. You don't renew it, but you can have the year off, obviously, because I don't know when we're coming back. I don't think our club has been specifically bad in what they've asked for. So we went into a ballot. Yeah, if you wanted to go into it. Well, obviously, there's no ballot because now they've stopped it. We were going back in October, weren't we? It was going to be a couple of weeks ago. So, no, we've not laid out any money. Okay, I've not laid a thing. They emailed me and said, you're entitled to a holiday. We'll talk to you next season or whenever the fans come in. What can Arsenal do or any club do? They've not asked for the season ticket money up front. Arsenal haven't. I've not paid a thing. And I got my refund last year on the games when COVID came in. But what I don't understand, for the benefit of mental health of fans from Cornwall all the way up to bloody Newcastle, we all just need it. We need it. And I don't understand why he's stopping it. When you can sit on tube trains all day long and all night and you can
Hold
still
on 1
walk around
second.
London. It just doesn't make sense.
We've made... Okay, but the big question is this to both of you. They introduced this concept of $14.95. Now, here's what I want to understand, because we're going to compare. We have listeners from the United States in our chat as well, and we have listeners from China and Indonesia and all sorts of places in Africa where they consume and watch football, right? I pay $4.99 a month to Peacock for the extra games. I also get NBC Sports as part of my DirecTV package. That's my cable satellite provider, right? You guys pay a subscription to Sky Sports and you get the games you're given that are part of the schedule. You also have to pay a subscription to BT because it's split, correct? The games are split. In addition to those subscriptions, you are now being asked to pay $14.95 for additional games per game.
Yeah.
Can I just say something here?
Please take it away.
Right. No one, and I mean this, no one is happy about this. But what I haven't seen is the clubs come out and say, we do not want this for the fans. They should be looking after us. Second of all, the fact that you in LA have always been able to watch every single goddamn match at 3:00 on a Saturday, our time, whatever time it is your time, is a disgrace. Years and years ago, they should have given this option to us. They thought it would stop fans going to the stadium. Nothing beats going to a live match. It's not going to stop anyone. I would never have sat at home and gone, oh, I'll pay 15 quid. I can't be bothered to go. It's not like that as a football fan. You want to go to every match. I used to get upset if I was ill and I couldn't go. And millions of people are like me. They can stuff their 15 quid up their arse. And so I really generally mean that. I will not be paying for one game. Not one game. And I will watch it in a different way. All I'm going to say is they can go...
Yeah, go on.
I can't swear. I can't, because my dad will be watching this. No, my dad will be watching this, and then my mum will hear it in the background, and I will get lambasted and go fuck themselves. I tell you what, in this day and age, where we are at this moment in time, they want money off people that can't even pay their bills. I am absolutely disgusted, and I truly hope that no one takes it up. Yeah. There will be people, Soph. There'll be people.
PG, you're right. They should boycott it. Everybody should boycott it.
Kev, if they'd have done $4.99 a game,
$3.99
a game, I would have gone, do you know what? $4.99 to watch.
And the
difference is, and not many people, it's funny, in my office, they think I only watch Arsenal. I watch loads of football. I love Everton, Liverpool. I love Man United, Man City. I love Tottenham, Chelsea. I watch them all. All are lovely big matches. I even watch some of the smaller ones. You're expecting me to pay 15 quid to watch Man City versus Man United? Absolutely not. I will not be paying a penny, and I promise that.
I think the issue too is that everyone got used to paying. So what's the difference? And I'm just playing devil's... Wait, hold on. I'm just playing I'm just playing devil's advocate here. For the person who would go to see this game, it's actually cheaper to watch it on TV than it is to go to the game. You're a season ticket holder. You've got your season ticket.
Comparison.
No, I'm saying that for the person that doesn't go to the game, right? That let's just say there's no COVID and they offer this to people. It's cheaper to pay the $14.95 than it is to go to the game. Of course, there's no comparison, right? There is none. In a time where they can't get bums on seats. And here's the thing that disgusts me. And we talked about this making us a little bit uncomfortable during this time, which is why we really didn't go crazy doing transfer shows as well. Clubs are spending millions and millions and millions plus millions. And then on top of those millions, add more millions of dollars, guys, buying new players. And like Kev said about 10 minutes ago, and you said about 20, Amanda, it always circles back to the fan. to ask them to pay more, to ask them to put their hand in their pocket more. Now, if this hadn't come off the back of this transfer window, maybe people would have digested it a little bit differently, but probably not, right? But Kevin, it's just disgusting.
Let me go back on a point that you've slightly missed. If there wasn't any COVID, we wouldn't have millions and billions of redundancies. And then it's your choice if you want to spend 15 quid. We pay Sky and BT. That's what we pay. It's a lot of money. You know what? Stop Sky and BT. Let me have the choice of £15 of what match I want to watch then. Stop it all. Let's just have no football on Sky or BT and put it on TV and I'll go, yeah, all right, I want to watch Arsenal away at City, because every Arsenal fan's going to watch Arsenal matches. Every Tottenham fan's going to watch Tottenham matches. And I'm sorry, but I'd really enjoy watching a lot of other clubs. I love Newcastle, Sunderland. I love all different matches. I've really enjoyed watching football over the years of different Everton.
Well, Leeds and Everton are fun to watch this season, aren't they? I mean,
I chose to watch Leeds the other night. I don't even know that. I can't remember who they were playing, but I won't do that. They've
pulled the rug from under everyone's feet.
But my point is, sorry, Soph, if you said, because it's COVID, if they wasn't COVID, we wouldn't be so financially restricted. People wouldn't be out of jobs.
But
and then
PG,
that's your choice.
But the point is there is, and they need to come up with a plan B.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but Sophie, let's think about this. The fact that it is COVID
it's even worse.
is the worst.
Of course.
That's the
we
thing.
said that.
That's the worst part. No, but that's the worst part of it all.
Yes, they're using it.
Yeah, again, never let a good crisis go to waste. There they are trying to lump up again. 15 quid a game. I don't care whether it's flipping Real Madrid versus Arsenal. 15 quid is too much, far too much, considering what everybody has to pay.
Here's the other thing. Again, you're asking fans not to be, fans get such stick, and rightly so sometimes, for saying some idiotic things, and especially going kind of on rants on Twitter and stuff like that. Nobody likes to see fans divided and arguing and everything, but that's the nature of the beast. But you can't help it when fans get upset that they're being asked to pay $14.95. Now you've got this other thing potentially happening. And I'm sorry to use him as an example, but it's the best one I can come up with right now. You're giving a loyalty bonus of £8 million to somebody that isn't even playing anymore. Surely at this point, you would have cut your losses just writing him a check and getting rid of him. I mean, what is going on in football? And then you're spending millions of dollars in the transfer market too. And you're asking fans to pay that much. And Amanda rightly says, where I can spend $5 a month and have most of the games. And if they're not on Peacock, they're going to be on NBC Sports. This is a real tipping point this is why people were moving towards their smaller clubs at the beginning of COVID. And even last season, I have friends who live in the London area. They go to Barnet, they go to Leyton Orient. They want to support these clubs.
Yeah, I know someone who did that.
Right. It's just become so about money. And in this time, I think there are going to be fans that are going to be willing to walk away. But will you not spend that $14.95 to watch the North London derby then?
No.
Casey?
They're not getting my money.
No, they're not getting mine either. Let me tell you what's going to happen.
Legal streams.
Yeah, I was just about to say it. It's what everyone's going to do. And you know what? I don't bloody blame them either. And I am so angry. And I hope, because not millions of people watch us, but I hope this gets out. Do not watch it. Do not pay it. Do not boycott it. We need to. I don't protest about stuff. I've got opinions on everything. You know that. But I tell you something, if I could be in a room with this, and I want to say something else as well, it's always about the bloody fans. You know, when they used to play Arsenal-Liverpool, say, a Monday night at Anfield at 8:00, fans can't get home on trains that time. But all of a sudden, TV companies can move it back to 6:00 at night, so to suit their audience.
I'm more important than you.
All of a sudden, they can.
I'm more important to them as a fan now than you are.
Oh, absolutely.
Every single week.
So they couldn't tell us about us.
Look at what's happened. Look at what's happened, you guys. No fans in the stadium, and this isn't sustainable. It's just not. None of it is.
Well, we don't know if the clubs are up in arms at the government. We don't know anything. I don't reckon there's anything in place. It's not even been mentioned. I mean, Arsenal sent us an email, and weirdly, they wrote like a fan in a way. It wasn't professional. They were like, we don't know what's going to happen. We want you back. We want to come back. Not only Arsenal fan, every football fan in this country wants to go back to their grounds. And if they don't, that's fair enough. If they're nervous about the situation at the moment, I don't judge anyone. Each club will give you a payment holiday, I suppose, or they'll allow it when it's safer for other people. I don't think you could be any more safe in the open air watching a game. Good for your mental health. Well, obviously, if you watch our defence, it might not be. But you know what I'm saying? Getting some fresh air and just having social distance in a ground is going to be so easy anyway. And so, do you know what? You've got thousands of schools back with kids from the age of 4 to 19 in schools, hundreds of kids together, yet adults who know how to socially distance. And even if you made us wear a mask or a visor, I'd still sit there and do it because I want to be at my grounds again. I tweeted that picture on Instagram last night. I miss my second home. And it's making everything else so much harder because I've been going since I was, 3 or 4 years old. You've stopped something that I love for a very long time now. It's been since February? It's
West Ham at home.
I
March
remember
2nd.
the lady sitting next to me against West Ham. I took no notice. She said to me, "This could be our last game." I said, "Don't be ridiculous. Don't be ridiculous." Of course it's not. And that was the last time I
felt like that when I was there at that West Ham game.
Yeah.
It felt like it was coming. It was brewing.
I didn't even think like that.
It's just a really unfortunate situation. And Kevin, the thing that I'm concerned about, and we're going to move off this subject in just a second, just want to have KC close it here. It seems to have become convenient, right? I mean, I don't know. I'm playing. There's two sides to every story, and then there's the truth. The clubs want fans back in the stadium. We know the value and what that brings. It's a revenue. It's a write-off right now. It's a bad debt, right? How many games have they missed with missing that revenue? It runs into hundreds of millions of dollars, pounds, euros. So how can an event like the Palladium go ahead? What's it going to take to put pressure on the league, on the government? What is it going to take? It's going to take fans just turning up outside stadiums. What is it going to take to get fans back in?
It's going to take nothing because it's planned. I keep telling you, it's planned. That's why the Palladium can happen. And that's why fans going into a football ground where you could easily organize safe distancing and all that kind of thing. It's because they don't want it to happen yet. When they're ready, the agenda behind it, the big picture, once that's coming to the open, you're going to see it all fits in together like a jigsaw. Right now, they definitely don't want it to happen because there's a bigger picture. Listen, anything like this where if somebody's doing something down the road and they're allowed to do it, why can't you do it? But it's the same difference. But that's why it's so confusing, because you look down the road and they can do it, or you look to Germany and they can do it. Then you look to England and a football stadium's a football stadium. You could easily safe distance to the football stadium. Bless you, darling.
Bless you.
You could easily do that, but they don't do it. Why? Because there's a bigger picture to all this. That is why. And you know what? It sickens me, but there is a bigger picture to it.
Well, this isn't going to be resolved overnight, and this conversation is going to go on and on. You know, the world is so divided on this entire subject, but at the same time, you can't have it one way and not the other. Like Kev just said, it's just not fair. It's not right. We're talking about livelihoods, jobs, people putting roof over their head and food on the table for their families. And it is the communities around the stadiums. It's It's getting your curry chips. It's going to the Tollington. It's going to look what's happened to
The pins. You go into the pins.
Piberry Corner.
Yeah.
You know, it's businesses like this. They're at the heartbeat of fans going, and fans from around the world come to those games too. Don't be mistaken, folks.
Mm-hmm.
There is a large contingent of fans that travel to go see Premier League's team play. So this has got to be resolved soon. Otherwise, you know, we're going to be bordering on anarchy at some point with some situations.
Just to go on about something, we're all struggling at the moment, wherever you are in this country and around the world. We're all struggling. How nice would it have been for them to just give us some free football matches to watch? We can't really go out. There's not much to do anymore. Everything shuts at 10 o'clock. To help us as where's their humanity? It makes me fucking sick, honestly.
And the winter months really haven't kicked in yet, Amanda.
Well, no, they're just starting now to get dark at nights, rainy, cold. If they think the mental health of people were bad months ago, Jesus, when the sun was out and we could be in parks and gardens, I know it worries me so much. It really does. I just hope that they see sense, and I hope no one watches. But I know people will pay it. I just know they will.
Okay, I have to ask you guys this question moving along. If you have any other questions for us, just lob them in chat or send them to us on Twitter at Highbury Squad. So, guys, let's just make this a very quick answer because we don't want to take up too much time talking about it. You can't really blame the guy. It was a deal that was done at a desperate time, but 8 million for a loyalty bonus. I think there are a lot of Arsenal fans out there that deserve a bonus for being loyal fans over the years. Quickly to you, Casey, Ozil getting that bonus and it becoming public, and then, you know, just what we've seen over the last week with regards to him again.
I got no problem with it. And I don't think anybody else should have a problem, because you know what, when he signed the contract, nobody had a problem with it. So now he's in his last year, don't have a problem with it now. Because he's still an Arsenal player, just like he was when he signed it. He's still an Arsenal player now. He's not contributing. Why? Because the club, the manager, and him don't see eye to eye. But he is due his money. And I won't ever knock anybody who is due their money. Get your money.
Well, it's clearer now why he stayed.
Yeah, so I was going to say, that's why he stayed.
No, but listen, it isn't why he stayed. Because here's the thing. No, it isn't. Because whatever happened, that gets negotiated with the next club, what he goes to. You see?
No one's going to pay 8 million.
Hold on. You see? Do you know about this stuff, or do you want me to tell you about it?
No, but
No. Do you know about this, or do you want me to tell you about it?
Go on, tell us.
You're getting all prickly over there.
No, because I think this is really important to understand. Okay? In negotiations, what Arsenal would want to do, Arsenal would want to not pay him the 8 million.
Right.
And Arsenal would want him to move on to his next club.
Yes.
And then he will negotiate with his next club what his signing bonus will be.
Correct.
Okay?
Right.
Now, if that signing bonus gets put into his package, he might swallow that. He might say, okay, do you know what? I might accept 4 million. I might accept two years at 4 million a piece.
Yeah, we know that.
No, but hold on a minute. He might say that. But what he wants is, no, he shouldn't. He's due his money from Arsenal. That's the difference. He's due his money from Arsenal.
So he didn't want PSG to pay the money.
No, he will get paid from PSG or whoever, no matter what. But Arsenal, I've got one payment to come, and the ball's in your court.
So Amanda and I, what we said was, that's, in our opinion, that's a major reason why he stayed, because maybe he wouldn't get that exact sum or that loyalty bonus at this point in his career at another club.
No, but he's going for more. Don't you understand what I'm telling you?
No,
he's going to negotiate.
Yes, but what we're saying is that's why he stayed, to put himself in that position of power.
No, he's in a position of power anyway. He's not putting himself. He's in the position of power.
So who's giving him that kind of money in a bonus at this point? Considering that he's not even playing, Kevin.
Ladies,
I get the
No, you're not understanding what I'm saying. You're not understanding what I'm saying. What I'm saying to you is this. The window was just closed, okay?
Yes.
Just closed. So take it back 2 weeks ago. Arsenal wanted Mesut Ozil out of the football club.
And why? To not pay that 8 million.
Whether they want to pay it or not, he's due it.
Is he?
Mesut Ozil is well within his rights to say, listen, if I'm going to go, you pay up my bonus. Okay?
Yes.
And then still get it on the other side. That is my point.
Okay.
That is how it works. So he can get it
Righty.
from Arsenal and then he can get it on the negotiation with the other one. Okay? But he couldn't do that because you know what Arsenal said? Arsenal said, you know what? I'd rather pay you 8 million and keep you here.
As we said, he's stayed this whole time for who would leave that contract behind? Who would? Only honestly, if people say, oh, but doesn't he want to play football? Well, you know, when your priorities have changed and you've fallen out of love with football, no is the answer to that. Right, let's move on. It's 45 minutes in. We've got another 15 to go. Let's talk about some football, shall we? Actual football. It returns this weekend. The international break. Are you done, Casey? Do you feel like you're doing one of these right now? Huh? Are you all done over there?
Listen, it's party time, right? Let's get on to party time.
Is he going to play? Is he going to play this weekend? I mean,
I tell you what. What's the point in buying him if he don't play?
Oh,
he needs
right.
to play.
Throw him
doesn't
in.
he? He
Throw
needs
him
to play.
in.
Yeah.
I think there'll be anarchy if he doesn't play. You can't stop the party train now. That's for sure.
Let's have a
Very true.
party.
Right, we come back with a bang against a team that, let's face it, we're not great at playing against in the Premier League. We love them in the FA Cup. We're playing at Manchester City. The last time we beat them in the league, I think, was in 2015.
Was I there? The only
I
time we
don't know.
beat them, I've only been there
I
twice.
may be Stradamus sometimes, but hold on one second. Let me see.
Are you talking when Giroud scored? And when
It was was it 2-1?
Monreal got taken out and we got a penalty and I was in a box. It was the first time we'd even beaten a top six and I was at the Etihad. I'd never been before.
Was it in December?
November-ish. Yeah, it was around then. I think it was cold.
It was cold. Yeah, Theo Walcott and Olivier Giroud scored. It was Theo.
What, he took the penalty? No. Was it?
Well, Theo. No, it wasn't a penalty. Who said there was a penalty?
It's not the game I'm talking about. It's not the game I'm talking about.
Put it this way: the last time we beat them, Yaya Toure was still playing, so probably not the game you're thinking about.
Company took out Monreal and we got a penalty, and I got told off for jumping up and saying
that was earlier, wasn't it? That was. I think that was. Oh, yeah. I think. Was that in 20? Anyway, someone in chat can help us because we're getting old and our memories are going just a little bit.
I was at the match we won, which I couldn't believe. But go on.
You're thinking of the 2-0.
Yes. When was that?
In January. That was before. That was in. Anyway, let's not. I think you're thinking of the 2-0. Someone will tell us.
Can we move on, please? We'll talk about this one.
I mean, let's talk about this one. So we're coming off hot from beating City in the FA Cup semi-final. Once again, I'm not sure anyone gave us a real chance. We're also seeing City in a transitional period, Casey. They've definitely regressed, even to see them finish so far behind Liverpool in the Premier League last season, I think was kind of shocking to a lot of people. They don't seem to have replaced Vincent Kompany. They spent a lot of money on defenders. They haven't really played together as a unit with the new signings that they've made. After the international break, we've had some issues. Aubameyang has a bit of a knock. Tierney in this COVID situation. How's this shaping up for you, this one, so far this week?
I like it. I like our chances, especially with Partey. Look, what usually happens against Man City is we lose the control of the midfield because they're better in midfield than us. And Kevin De Bruyne, what he tends to do, he tends to run the show. Well, I'm hoping Thomas Partey plays and puts the clamps down on him and puts us in a better position. It'll be interesting to see how we function in the middle of the pitch with Thomas Partey in there. And can we wrestle supremacy, or can we keep winning the ball back off Man City to break on them? Because what we tend to do when we catch them on the break, on the counter attack, we do them. Now, can we do that again?
I think they're going to be more nervous than us if Party plays. I do.
Right.
Although I have to say, I'm not going for a win. We'll do predictions later, but I think they're going to be more nervous than us. And it's really hard. It's a real shame that there was an international break as well. And let's not even get started on that. But I think they'll be more nervous than us with us going there. Especially, we've got our spine, as we say. It's going to be so fascinating watching Partey in the midfield. I just think he's going to run it. I'm hoping I'm not going to be let down, but I think he's going to run it. So we'll see.
Nice one.
Well, okay, everyone's getting excited. Let's just put the brakes on here just a little bit, okay? When you're coming back from an international break, there's, these guys have been traveling. They've been exposed to COVID in certain places. Now, I think Arsenal's statement to me said the other day that Tierney's tested negative. He's playing. Did you get that impression? That was going to be the case.
And that's right.
Yeah.
And that's right.
Okay. So Manchester City, I think just because of the kind of pace that we have at the front and adding Partey into the mix, their defense is very shaky and not very confident right now. But KC also, Pep's had time to prepare for this game. And, we've seen... What?
Where is
mentally. Hold on one second.
Mentally.
Okay,
mentally,
right, yeah.
Like what he's,
so
he's an artist.
Too.
Of course.
Arteta's had time too. Good.
I'm getting there. You're feisty today.
Okay, I am.
Right,
listen, I've missed it.
Get in. Gosh, got to get him on it every night, this one. He's done pretty well against his old boss so far, you would agree. And some people say that since losing Arteta, perhaps Pep has lost a bit of a step. Tell me about that.
Yeah, well, look, I think what Arteta was for Pep was a key lieutenant beside him. Great assistant who can take up a lot of the slack and let Pep concentrate on other things. And you see, when you lose that, all of a sudden Pep's got to go back to doing it. And maybe it's not quite the same as a different voice. That different voice was Mikel Arteta. Now Mikel Arteta obviously is coming to Arsenal. He's changing hearts and minds at Arsenal right now. He's building something. That's what he's doing. He's the apprentice has beat the master in the semi-final after losing, obviously after Project Restart, our first game. It goes a long way. And you're starting to see Mikel Arteta do things now that makes people sit up and take notice. Do you know what? Maybe he done a bit more for Man City than he was given credit for.
Yeah.
But we do know Pep is a great manager. We do know Pep as can work wonders. But I think this international break actually works for Arsenal. I really do.
In what way?
I think it works for us because the players are going to come back into their clubs on Wednesday night, Thursday morning. That's not a lot of time to prepare. Now, I truly believe Mikel Arteta in a defensive system could set us up better than Pep Guardiola will be able to set up Man City. Because the players tend to know the system a lot better. They know the system a lot better.
Also, Arteta knows their team a lot better than Pep knows our team. Remember that?
True.
Just thought of that.
Also, Wayne Hayward makes a really good point. They're really missing Aguero as well. I think people really... I'm not saying that he's underrated, but as one of the best goal scorers in the history of the Premier League, sometimes I think Aguero does get shafted a little bit. And I don't know, Paul... Sorry, go on.
How does he get shafted?
He doesn't get lauded.
I don't think he gets lauded like
and
Kane.
He should be.
I mean, people rattle on about Kane more than they do Aguero, and even Danny Ings gets more love sometimes than Aguero. Okay, maybe that's a little exaggeration, but I'm just trying to prove a point that
I think because you know what I think if as a goal scorer, Aguero's been out injured for large chunks recently. Don't forget, he's been top man for years, getting lauded for years. But recently, he's been injured.
Yeah,
And
I know that.
and
But
when
they
you've
miss
been
him.
injured, when you're out of the way, people forget about you. When Danny Ings starts taking the limelight, and all of these guys, they're the ones who get the column inches. They're the ones who get the media speculation and get talked about. But we all know how good Aguero is.
They miss him. That's the point. The point is
definitely.
that they badly miss him. Okay, so we've got some questions. Let's do a few questions coming in before we do some predictions and say au revoir to everybody. From the assembled panel, who do you think will be the best partner for Party? It would be a party partner. I believe it could be Louise or El Neni. El Neni, give me a break. Give me strength. Give me strength. I know he does the tidy things. Go on, Amanda.
I think Louise would be the best partner, and I can't believe I'm even saying it. But yeah, I do. What do you think, Kev?
Louise in midfield.
Yeah, why is everyone saying
Out of those
Louise?
two.
No.
Louise.
Who would be his best partner? It's got to be Xhaka or El
I think
Neni
meant behind him. Sorry,
Ceballos
wasn't even
is the
reading.
one for me.
Ceballos.
Oh no, Ceballos. Yeah.
Ceballos. I think. I think both Xhaka and Ceballos could be great for him. It depends. Look, it depends how we play. If we're playing a 2, he could play with Xhaka and he could play with Ceballos. But you know what? He'll be the first name on the team sheet. Party.
Oh yeah.
Well, after Aubameyang, I think.
No, I'm talking about the midfield.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. So I think, I mean, if you have Partey, you have Ceballos. I think we said on another show, didn't we, Casey, that Ceballos might be asked to do a little bit more creatively as opposed to some of that grunt work and stuff. And the fact that he's probably our best asset in midfield since before we signed Partey, that who's able to really keep possession of the ball, be smart with the ball, you know, just wait that extra second or minute to make that killer pass. He's just a really, you know, sometimes he can go, he's a bit of a hothead, but he's definitely smart when it comes to his feet. Okay.
Sophie.
Yes.
What you just said, we could do with that further up the pitch. And because when you watch Ceballos, he's taking the ball off the back 4 or back 3 to try and set things up. Partey can do that.
Right.
So if we can get Ceballos further up the pitch, then his passes are hurting the opposition a lot more. So that's why. Okay,
so here's some interesting ones coming through because you and I talked about this with Ben as well in terms of Willian being able to play that number 10 or even Saka, and then you have that Saka Partey, Ceballos, Colorado Guna suggesting a flat 3. We've got Melvin who is saying a back 4 and then 3 midfielders, Barry, Willian in the hole. And then there's someone who recommends that we do super chats.
What's a super chat?
I'll explain later.
Yeah, right. That's where they give money.
So to ask questions and stuff like that, you know, we just.
I'd probably earn about 10p for my question.
So with that said, you guys, let's do some predictions because we're going to do a little bit more of an analysis after the game. We're going to do definitely a post-game broadcast as well. So there'll be a little bit more nuts and bolts to that we'll get KC's intel on too. Amanda, prediction time. Predictions are back. You hate them, which is why we like asking you just because we know it annoys you so much, almost as much as transfers. Predictions, everyone in chat join in as well and give us your predictions for the big game.
Okay, so if De Bruyne's not playing, I'm going to go for...
Can we just say win or lose? Why don't let's not go for score? Say win or lose.
If De Bruyne's
win, lose or draw. Yeah, win, lose or draw. Win, lose or draw.
It just
for Amanda or just...
No, all
for everyone.
Us. Yeah.
Because what does it matter if you pick 2-1 or 3-1? It's a win, isn't it?
Well, it's bragging rights. It's bragging rights.
I think it's his time of the month. We just go with it, okay? We just go with it. So I think if De Bruyne's not playing, we'll win. If he's not, I think we'll draw. There we go.
What's the likelihood of De Bruyne playing or not? What's the reality of this? Is this true that he might be injured?
People are saying he's not so fit or injured, but that could all be a ploy, couldn't it? So we'll see. So win without, draw with. There we go.
I mean, what is going on with these
Hold on a minute.
predictions?
No,
What is
hold
this
on a minute.
nonsense we're getting into right now?
I try and make it easier, and you complicate it.
All right. I'll tell you what. I'll go for one. I'll go for a draw. That's it.
Right. I'm going for a win. We've needed that midfielder in that midfield. We've spent the money. We've got a world-class midfielder. I'm going for a win. I don't care. I want Arsenal to win, and I'm going for a win.
Oh, I want Arsenal to win, but I'm going for a draw.
No, I want Arsenal to win, and I'm going for a win. You want Arsenal to win, but you're going for a draw.
Let me tell you about this game, everyone. Mr. Feisty, I like it. Kev's on fire. Just put the emoji next to him. He's buzzing all the way around because he's ready for the party this weekend. Now, there may or may not be one, but let me throw this out there to everybody before I give you my prediction. Aston Villa thrashed Liverpool. Now, granted, they didn't have Alisson and they didn't have Mane. We didn't thrash Liverpool. Mane was playing and so was Alisson. Leicester City thrashed Manchester City. Thrashed them. This is a really important game for Arsenal to start being taken seriously. Because if we lose this game, it's just another pretty, they can't beat the top 6 sides, whoever they might be these days. This is so important that we win this. And for those reasons, and because I think Arteta is mentally drilling that into them, that this is the statement game, I say we win. And I think we're going to win 3-1.
There you go. Right. Lovely.
Okay.
Lovely.
So 2 wins and a draw. That's what we're predicting. So at least we're not predicting a loss.
I'll say if 2-1 me, but I'll go for the W.
And I'll go for 2-2 then.
Okay.
This is a really important game. This could set our season off. We've said it in the podcast previous. We've said it for like the last few. This game and games like this is now where Arteta, we need to be known as more than just a lovely cup team. Okay.
Yeah, but also it could be just as important not to lose. So if we get the draw, that's just as important if you get me.
But we keep saying that over and over. Now's the time to win.
At the moment, babe. We've only lost against Liverpool. We're doing all right. Let's just carry on building our momentum.
9 points. 9 points. Let's make it 12.
Okay, but we haven't actually played that brilliant yet.
Neither have they.
I know, but we're not. It's a bit of a bogey team for us up there, isn't it? Really. Apart from
but this is what I'm saying: evolution, and for more belief and confidence, take those FA Cup wins and translate them into 3 points in the Premier League. It will be huge.
Stick Partey in the midfield, and we beat them up there. Everyone is going to be looking over their shoulder. Are going to be like, "Whoa, Arsenal's for real."
Did anyone say party?
Right. It is going to be a party, I'm sure. So here's the scoop. Before we go, we have KC, are you on the document on this episode of the documentary or no?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure which one I'm on.
Okay. The TalkSport documentary.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know which one I'm on because they record it and then they piece it together. So I'm not sure which one. I think it's the one.
I think I got a note. It's the one that's just come out. It's episode 3. So check that out. It's the history of black players in English football. It's superb. You got to check it out and see that. I don't know if Mike and the Gooners podcast are still doing their charity thing, but please go over and check on that because he's always doing stuff that you can help and support.
There's a day left or something.
A day left on that as well. Yeah. So check that out. One thing I want to start getting from you guys once a week is I want to know what your favorite song to listen to is right now and what your favorite TV show is that you might be binge watching or checking out right now before we leave to share with everyone. We're going to start giving them tips.
Right. So mine is Tears for Fears. Everybody wants to rule the world, because when I go walking and I have to get up a hill, I bloody love that song. Although most of my playlist is house music, we've got Tears for Fears in there. Don't ask me why. And the binge show that I'm watching at the moment, well, I've just finished Prison Break. I know everyone's watched it about 15 years ago. I watch all the shit reality shows like Towie and Real Housewives of Cheshire. I'm obsessed with anything like that. But if anyone
Selling Sunset, probably, right?
Selling Sunset, I watched within 5 minutes of it. It's just obsessed.
All right, this was a bad idea, Casey.
Yeah, it was. I could go on all day.
Do you have a Tuesday tune, or are we just going to stick to Funky Friday?
You know me, I love my Funky Fridays, but a tune I was bouncing today was Magic Touch by Rolls Royce.
Ooh.
80s soul.
Yeah, I like
right.
that. What's the tune? Sing it, Kev. I don't know.
She wants you to sing as well.
You see, I don't know who she thinks she is. This one here.
He's not a jukebox.
And I don't watch. Yeah, she could love herself, and you're supposed to know it.
I do know it, but I can't remember the tune. I know the voice.
You've got that touch, your magic touch, your touch.
I'll even sing it for
like
you.
a tender fire deep
another
inside my
Tony Perry video.
Love makes complete control. You'll have to check it out. Anyway, but I don't binge watch TV. I don't watch TV.
Oh, I watch loads. What do you mean you don't watch TV? You're an alien.
Watch TV.
Documentaries.
What do you do?
No, listen, I'm too busy working.
He's working.
Too busy working. Yeah, well, listen, you watch your Prison Break and all that. Leave me alone.
Brilliant. I loved it.
We'll lock her up, Casey. We'll lock her up. Okay, so my song is a band called, it's no coincidence, Cannons.
Oh,
and the song is Fire for You. Check it out. It's a really cool tune. Okay. And I just finished watching the morning show on Apple TV.
Oh, I want to see that.
It is so good. Steve Carell, Jennifer Aniston, Reese Witherspoon. Brilliant show. It's a bit like what goes on behind the scenes at this show. No.
Absolutely.
Oh, no, sorry. No, that's a really bad joke. Strike that. I meant like the banter and stuff, for example, because it's really... actually terribly. Anyway, let's just move on from that.
None of us know what you're talking about, because probably no one watched it over here.
And
move on.
Okay, move on. So, Casey, any news on that loan deal before we leave?
Yeah, listen, we've got until Friday.
No one wants me. No one.
And I might have a taker. Watch this space. Watch this space.
Okay. Well, Jordan Jarrett Bryant fell through at the last minute. He wouldn't meet the clause for the extra penny. A little bit like your loyalty bonus, Amanda.
Right.
By the way, that was the joke about the morning show. Let's just be clear, was about the banter. Okay, because it has serious threads.
Well,
and
whatever the implications is, you're in LA, I'm in Essex, and he's in Manchester.
Let's just get that out of the way.
I don't know what she's.
All right. Does anyone else have anything to add? Great segment at the end there. Just fantastic.
No, I just would like to say that I watched a couple of clips of Wenger in the Palladium last night, and whatever you think, that man has still got charisma. Honestly, I just watched a couple of minutes of him talking. He's funny. Listen, I wanted him out as much as the last one, but I will be reading the book definitely, and no doubt my dad and everyone.
What is it you don't already know?
I met him, and he's exactly like that. I went like this. I was like, his charisma.
I enjoyed meeting him too. He was lovely. He's a gentleman.
Yep, he really is.
A top shelf human being and classy.
He just stayed a little bit too long.
A little bit too long?
Oh, let's not get into that. We've had enough, Wenger. I just think it's very nice, and I'm looking forward to reading the book.
Do you know what I'd like to say? No, you've said enough, PG. Keep quiet now. It's my turn.
I've only spoken. You, on the other hand,
Sophie, I'd just like to say, on behalf of the Highbury squad, well done to the Los Angeles Lakers, because some of the people have joined for winning the joint 17th championship, and now they've tied with the Celtics. They're great rivals.
That's right.
And I'd just like to
what
say,
you're talking about, but go on.
But back to basketball, darling, and I want every Arsenal fan to be excited about this weekend. Because
we are.
It's party time. Thomas Partey in the midfield. This is what I've been dying to see this for over a decade.
I can't wait for him to score his first goal, and what dance he's going to do with Aubameyang and Lacazette. And Party time.
You said you're excited, but you said it's going to be a draw. How excited can you be about that?
You know what we're going to do? We're going to smash Man City, and it'll be a fantastic 2-2 draw. That's what's going to happen in it. Oh, of course, I'm excited. I can't wait.
Well, listen, we could go on and on, right? But we're not.
We're not.
That's the truth of it. So we're going to be back. Everyone. We'll probably be back
post.
We're going to be. We're going to do a post game, but we're going to do something else before then as well. Look out for maybe a new Kevin Says. Look out for a Sophie soundbite, and maybe when Amanda is in the mood to do her segment that we're waiting for, she'll do it.
Okay, everybody. I don't think anyone wants an Ask Man segment, do you?
Yes, please. Ask Man. Listen, if she doesn't go on loan, if you don't go on loan, you have to do it.
I don't mind.
It's if part of the contract.
Ask me my favourite games or my favourite ask anything, but no.
In the morning show, Jennifer Aniston's negotiating a new contract, right? And I was watching it very carefully because the one thing she wanted approval on her co-anchor, right?
Oh,
yes.
Oh. I don't anyway.
Casey's right. If you don't go out on loan, we're going to put some stipulations in, right? Super Kev?
It's excuse me.
Yeah.
I'm 50% the hybrid squad. I get to say much more than he does. Thank you.
Well, we're just talking about your segments.
Hold on a minute. If you get to say much more, you've got to do your segment then.
Exactly.
Orange segment.
Right. Let's just leave it at that, shall we? Amanda, what's left to say?
Thank you, Sophie. That's left to say. Thank you for hosting as beautiful as ever. Kev, I think you need to go and have a sit down.
I'd
like to thank everyone for watching us and subscribing to us. And honestly, we just really love all your interactions is the word I was thinking. And you can find us on the Twitter, Facebook, Twitch. I don't even know what Twitch is, but
rubbing the belly. Just keep rubbing the belly.
You need to have an egg timer. If you have an egg timer, then I have to stop.
I mean, you know what it is we'd want you to say, but go on.
No.
Enjoy a little monologue.
I'm
going to join a little monologue.
Right. Thank you. Have a lovely rest of the Tuesday evening, and always Arsenal.
Bang.